Hello, Jessica, Florian, and Sarah, and thank you very much for your question. So, what do I talk about when I talk about sprints? Let's go directly in it. I'm so curious about your comments, and I hope you can help me find improvement ideas and to see things that we don't currently see. So, we will talk about the flow of the sprint from the beginning to the end and also the anatomy of the sprint. It is informed by what we believe in. So our values are focus, freedom, and flow, which means we do one thing at a time and we build it and we ship it. We actually ship it. We just give it out, even if it's embarrassing. And because we want to learn and improve it very fastly in weekly basis. And we open a second thing when the first done is closed. Freedom, we are freedom people. So we love to work from wherever we are, whenever we want. So sprinters, they work from different places and at different times of the day. And the digital world makes it possible. Flow. The two things together create flow, and the flow is very different and unique for every sprinter. For example, I like to do once a day some intense training for 1 hour in between of working sessions. And that's my flow, and it's possible because we take care of each other and of the rhythms. So we organize in a way that everybody can live flow. And when do we sprint? Basically to jumpstart creativity, to release our own fixations, which can be product fixations, financial fixations, or other fixations that we currently have, and we have a lot of them, and to accelerate progress. And we love to accelerate progress. We want to fast forward and test, validate our assertion. So that's when we sprint. And we sprint every week. This is the complete flow. We start with the moonshot goal. It should be really big and motivating. So we use a tool, we call it the Future Now. And then it's 15 steps, which are done in sprints. I will show you the steps one by one. Every sprint is unique, which means it depends on the product stage, on the service or product we are going to launch, if it's in proof of concept or proof of market, or if it's in the scaling phase. And it depends, of course, on market situation and competition. Having said that, every sprint is unique, but every sprint has the same structure. The three jewels, I like to call them. We open and close with understand and defined. So we have divergent thinking and convergent thinking. And this is what design thinking does very well. And so you open up, you close, you open up, you close, you open up, you close. That's the flow. And the anatomy it's exactly 6 stages we always keep in mind. Understanding, defining what the scope is. So what will we build today? What will we build this week? Sketch, you open up again. So how many possible solutions do we come up with? It can be 5 to 80, 90. Different possible solutions. But we don't go out there with just a basket of ideas. We decide which one will we build today. And we build it. It doesn't mean that it's done, but we build the minimum viable part. And then we open up again, we build the prototype, and then we close it by testing it, validate. This is where we use the ideas from the Google Venture Sprints, which are testing with 5 people, and they can be read about in the book Sprint. So, Future Now, we start with the end in mind. We start with the moonshot goal. We try to think big and to be courageous. But that's not enough, because usually when you write down a moonshot, it stays a paper. We want to embody it. So, for example, my current future now, I have 5 pages of description of what the future looks like in the realized state. So in its maximum full potential, but it's right here, right now. So in that description, for example, I am on my loggia, which smells like wood, and I'm drinking peppermint tea while I enjoy the impact of our work. And the peppermint tea is what I drink every day. You see this peppermint tea here, which I really drink every day to embody that future now. So it's a moonshot idea that I really feel right now in my body, and every time I sip some peppermint tea, I have this picture in my mind. And that's what every athlete and every peak performer does. They start with the end in mind. We like to think that there are 4 levels of time management that you can. On level 1, you react to things, to chances. On level 2, you do a to-do list and you prioritize your list. On level 3, you have a trusted system where you can park stuff. But on level 4, you start with the end in mind. So right now, right here, you know what you want as a desired outcome, what your moonshot is, and you feel it right now. So that's what we do with the first thing. It's the future now. So everybody does it, we do it together, we discuss. Then we have an avatar. Avatar is like persona in design thinking. The only difference is we do only one avatar, and we do it very, very precise. So again, it's 3 or 4 pages, and we describe who is it for, and where do they live, how do they wake up in the morning, with who do they interact, what is important to them, what are they striving for, or what are they trying to avoid? Because some people go for something and others try to avoid something painful. So what are the pains and gains and the friction moments, and what are they trying to accomplish, and what is in their way? Then we go to product strategy, which is what is the unique mechanism and the unique selling proposition, and how is it validated in a way that is authentic and reliable. And then there is the positioning strategy, so mapping the landscape of current products and services that have this promise. But what is their pricing position and market position, and how are we going to enter that market, from which side and in which way? Then we do a belief mapping. Belief goes back to the avatar and says, okay, what is it that the avatar really believes? And we do it in 12 steps, and the 13th is the belief that you need in order to want exactly this service or product. So, for example, if you are building a productivity course, online course, and the first belief of your avatar is productivity is just about efficiency, it doesn't work, that's a very important belief, and you will have to address that. So our content and the way we will write and talk to them will be by talking to their beliefs. And then we will go from belief 1 to belief 2 with one blog post, and from belief 2 to belief 3 with another call, etc. And going down the belief path, basically much more connected than if you just say something, but the other person says, they want to sell something again. I don't even care about what they're trying to tell me. Then we think about the network effects, like what can we do to make it shareable, to make it easier to tell their friends, their bosses. And for example, I'm in a CrossFit gym right now, and they are perfect in network effects because they built the rooms and the single places where we train in a way that you want to post it instantly on Instagram. So, and people are tagging each other after training, so everybody knows about this place, and that's a network effect. And then we try to ship. We ship, which means embracing embarrassment. So I love this quote: if you're not embarrassed by the first version of your product, you are launched too late. I did the mistake myself of launching too late. And I know now that we have to launch much sooner before the thing is ready. Then we do some paid advertisement in a very small budget, because we want to find out proof of concept and proof of market, and we prefer paid reach over organic one, because it is much more reliable. The criteria behind that are much steadier than the organic reach, which has a natural peak and then goes down. Next thing is we personalize and automate. Imagine you are going into a shop and they say, "Hi, Sarah, welcome. Do you want a membership in our store so that you can have minus 15%? But you already have that membership. How do you feel?" So you want that store guy to know and to care and to say, "Hi, Sarah, it's great to have you back. I know that you're a member here." So we try to do that with our website and with the main touch points, that people are carefully talked to in the way that is appropriate and not basically just spammed. So we try to build in an easy way and a website and products that are aware of what did you see the last time, so I will show you the next thing, and that are aware of what you are searching for. So if you are interested in A, they don't show you B. We collect the awareness, which is still an automation that tells us exactly this. So we build these collection systems that tells us exactly they are looking for that, but not for that. Because this is important for the next step, which is qualifying the leads. So the people who then raise their hand and say, "Hey, I want to know more about that," these people, we want to triage them. So we say, okay, there are people who have this problem and this problem and this problem, and it's 3 different problems. So we want to qualify and to see to which to talk to in which way. And then we build the solution, which is quite late, right? Because we shipped much earlier. So now we build the solution, and when we build, we try to have this in mind, which is kind of our mantra of how we work on a daily level. So we try to ship this week, to come as we are, to work in public. It's not a sprint if we don't test it. We try to build on the work of others. We formulate our assertions, because that's a premise to testing. And we think of what is the smallest we can build today. Then we sketch an individual work. Later, we talk about that. in work critique. We try to do less but better. We try to have fun, and we think that this is in the word function. We decide to care about what we do, and we only do things we care about. We invite others to play. So whatever we bring forward to the world, it's an invitation. And we try to keep rolling, because we know that entrepreneurship and innovation is a marathon made of many, many sprints. So then after the product is there, and we try to close the solution. So we have 2 calls, a discovery call and a demo call, and in the demo call there is a closing. And improve user flow. Now we have enough data to do the stuff that most people do at the beginning, which is thinking about the customer journey. We call it the user flow. So what exactly are the touch points, and what exactly are the needs, and how are they met or non-met? Where is the friction in exactly which part of the experience together, of the relationship? And now we do the financial forecast, which is for decades we taught I even did teach in MBAs that you start with a business plan. It's completely wrong, because you can do the financial forecast only at this point in time, and this is many weeks after start, that now you have the reliable data. Now you know the acquisition cost, the customer lifecycle cost, the customer lifecycle value. Now you know what you are doing and what the market says about it. So you know if people want it and what are they willing to pay. And then we go to the Forbes Card, which is the card you know. In the current version, it's still the 3 to 5 years, the 1 year, this quarter, and the metrics, and who does what. So it's still the same. And the points refer to what builds on what, because this is something that is very often missing. So here the moonshot comes back again. So we start at the beginning again with the moonshot and try to formulate it as a vision for the next 3 to 5 years. But also to break it down in 1 year, and also to break it down in quarterly improvements. And the quarterly improvements, we meet every Friday in Asana, where we have a simple Kanban board which says backlog, doing, done. Very simple. And it's my face on it or the face of somebody else. And then I know, okay, I have to do this. Or I know, okay, I don't have to do this. And so we move these cards along, and we start every Friday morning, the sprint review, with the metrics. The metrics are here, and we have a separate Excel sheet for that, because we want also to visualize the progress and the development. So we have these metrics, which are on a weekly basis, which is interesting, because most people say, how can you measure on a weekly basis? And that's the challenge, but it's possible. It's possible if you think of lead and lag indicators. You try to go for the indicators you can do week by week, day by day. So again, you're trying to make it very small and very focused, which is motivating, because every week you have some small positive loops, reinforcing loops of, hey, we have 2 new testimonials. Hey, we have X dollars revenue from that course. Hey, we have 20 more participants in that event. So you feel every week that what you do has a resonance and has an impact, which is very important for the team to stay motivated and to feel that it's doing something for somebody, for real people who want it and who get it and who are thankful and give something back. Okay, so I hope this was helpful. That was the whole flow of the strategy sprints in our current state of error. And I hope it was helpful. And if you have improvement ideas, I'm very glad to read them and, of course, to sprint. So bye-bye. Have a great day.